way for our knowledge to open up and pave the way for our knowledge to get to the next level and the next realm. There's an African proverb that says, when a woman is hungry, she says, roast something for the children that they may eat. There's an African proverb that says, when a woman is hungry, she says, roast something for the children that they may eat. Think about that for a minute. And as we think about that, there should be another chair. I want you to have our Aunt you come sit right here. We're going to bless her with some things. Amen. 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 When a woman is hungry, in other words, when there's a hunger, you remember when I told you about kingdom things? And I told you that when the kingdom suffers violence, the violent take it by force. Yes, yes. And that we have to understand that why would the kingdom suffer violence? When the kingdom suffers hunger, then the hungry take it by force. And that's what's meant by suffering violence. Come on and sit right here for a minute, because I just want to talk about you with your pretty self. I'm not talking about you with your pretty self. Is y'all blessing God bigger than that? Is y'all blessing bigger than that? Come on, let everything that has breath, praise the Lord right there. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Yeah. I want you to sit right there. As we honor you and we bless you, Mom, I want to thank you for the vision that you have had to honor all of the elders of our church, of our ministry. See, if you're a mother, you are also an elder, because in the African tradition, there's always an elder. There are always elders. There's a council of people that you get wise counsel from. And that's what in churchy terms is called mother's boy. In spiritual terms, it's called elders. Praise the Lord. And so you would always go to the elders for wisdom. And when the kingdom suffers violence, I told y'all this last week, because we're kingdom livers. As a matter of fact, tell somebody, welcome to the kingdom. Welcome to the kingdom. I talked to you about 5 principles. I'm not going to go into that right now. But I talked to you about how we as people have to be able to live in the kingdom and feel comfortable with the fact that we're no longer of this world, but we're of the kingdom of this world. Okay, let me get that. Let me try that again. Because heaven is now on earth. Let thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. And so what I'm able to do is take from Jesus. I'm able to take the teachings from Jesus, and I'm able to bring the kingdom to earth. And if I can bring the kingdom to earth, I can bring some things to pass. Yeah. I can rid myself of those things that are not, and speak those things that are not, even as though they were. Okay. I can speak into existence some things, because I am now a kingdom dweller. I'm a kingdom liver. That's why this is looking like an African kingdom in here, because we are kingdom livers. Yeah. We know from whence we've come. We know that the cradle of humanity began in Africa, and we understand that, and that's why in our kingdom we honor our elders. So when the woman is hungry, she says, don't feed me, feed the children. You know, that's our tradition. That's who we are. I know if you take it into the physical and take it out of the spiritual, you take it into the natural. Anytime you go to black folks' house, they always offer you something to eat.
That's fine.
Okay, y'all don't want to talk.
That's right.
And especially on Sunday when it was the Lord's Day. It's something that we do. It's what we do. We honor. We honor by what? Eating. We honor by feeding. But I'm not talking about the feeding of the natural now. I'm talking about the feeding in the spiritual. Now God knows when Mother Coleman makes oxtails, she'll save me a little spoonful. And that's a blessing. Amen. She keep telling me she don't cook no more. I don't believe it. I don't cook like I used to. But she used to send me a little tinge of oxtail because we believe in feeding. But more than feeding in the natural, I'm talking about feeding in the spirit. And we have to be in that place where we're beginning to know more spiritual things. And when we're hungry for it, we don't keep it to ourselves. We got to feed the next generation. That's why it says the children, because we have to feed the next generation. And we got to feed them some stuff that we've been fed. And then we got to raise the vibration. See, that's why we're doing affirmations. That's why we're going into Kundalini yoga, and as we're talking about our chakras, because we have to raise the vibration. We should be doing more. When Jesus left his disciples, he told them, you shall do more than I've done. Okay? So if we're not doing more, then we're really not following the direction of Jesus, because his last commission was to go into the world and preach, teach, and baptize. And make people hungry for kingdom things. How many are hungry for kingdom things? You tired of being broke? I ain't talking to you if you feel comfortable being broke. I'm not talking to you. If you feel comfortable being misled, I ain't talking to you. If you feel comfortable just with the fact that you know the 23rd Psalm, that's cool. I'm not talking to you. But for those people who really understand that this thing is much bigger than we've been taught, then you got to be hungry for it and you're ready to eat. How many are ready to eat? There's another problem. There's another problem. And that's the responsibility of the elder. The responsibility of the elder is to help to raise the consciousness. Did y'all hear what I said? That you can't raise what you don't know. And that's why they have to pour into us what they know. Is that right? The youth can walk faster, but the elder knows the road. Did y'all hear about that? When you're walking with a cane now, you're not walking as fast as you can walk, as you used to walk, but you know the road. You've been through some things. You can share some things, and that's what the elders are here for. The elders are here to sit down. I don't know about y'all, but I love talking to older people who can impart. I'm not talking to folk that want to beat you down about what the Bible say. I ain't talking about that. Because that ain't going to never keep you confused and walking around religious. I'm trying to get you to become a spiritual being. And when you become a spiritual thinker, and you understand that we are all God in expression, then you take that. I'm not discounting that, but you take that and you raise it to the next level so that people can begin to understand how to live on this side of the river Jordan. If you want to go to heaven, I want to go to heaven, but I want heaven on earth. I want what Jesus said. Thy kingdom come, what? On earth as it is in heaven. I want some of my stuff now. If you want some of your stuff now, shout amen. I don't want some of my stuff. I want all my stuff. And I want it now. I want to enjoy what the kingdom has on earth as it is in heaven. And so as youth, you walk fast, but the elder knows the road. So this is for somebody who doesn't want to slow down enough to really get to understand truth. And here's what the word says. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And making is a process. And we're now in a process where we've got to hear the wisdom of the elder and then raise the vibration at the same time. Does that make sense? I got to hear the wisdom of the elder. Then I got to raise the vibration at the same time. So how do I do that? I have to ask myself 3 questions. Who am I? What do I desire? And what do I know? Who am I? What do I desire? And what do I know? And somebody in here today, you have asked that question, who am I? I want you to answer, who am I? Anybody? Who am I? We've been asking this question for several weeks now. We're into this next level of consciousness. I want to take you a little higher. Who am I? Anybody? Behind me? Go ahead.
Who am I? I am the gift. What do I desire? For my will to truly line up with God's will for my life.
Mm-hmm.
What do I know? Permissive will and perfect will is God's will.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I'm a gift. I'm a gift. We're all gifts. We're all gifts. Christ is a gift. Because we emulate Christ and we walk like Christ and we too are gifts. That's good. What did I desire? For your will to line up with God's will. When we understand God's will for our lives, which was her third piece when she said that God's permissive will, those things that He allows to happen, and His perfect will, those things that are intended for us in a perfect world. Because good or bad becomes His permissive will. Nothing can happen to us unless God permits it to happen. Does that make sense? You got to be able to understand that. And so no matter what I'm going through, I count it all joy. Did y'all hear what I just said? No matter what I'm going through, I count it all joy because I'm balanced, I'm full, and I'm free. And so what I desire lines up with what God wants. That's good. That's good. Anybody else? Yes. Abraham's seed.
And what do I desire to do more? And what do I know? I'm not how I can be. I'm living like I
Okay, you desire to do more. You're not what you want to be, but you're not what you used to be. All right. Abraham's seed. If I'm Abraham's seed, then I'm a kingdom. I'm a kingdom person because I have the benefits that Abraham had. If I'm his seed, and I'm the seed of righteousness, then everything that God promised Abraham also belongs to me. He told Abraham, I will make you father of what? Many nations. Then he goes on to talk about all of the benefits that come. That he'll give you houses that you didn't build, vineyards that you didn't grow, make you the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. All of those things because you are the seed of Abraham. Any seeds of Abraham?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who am I? You got to know that. You got to be confident in that. There are no right or wrong answers, by the way. What do I desire? What was your desire? To do more. To do more for the kingdom. To do more for the kingdom. What can I do to continue to benefit the kingdom? How do I do more to benefit the kingdom? How do I do more? What is it that I contribute? How do I contribute more to kingdom building? How do I do it? Anybody? Study the word more. What else? And more than studying and understanding it more. Yeah, getting above all, get what? Understanding. Study to show ourselves approved unto God, workmen and women that need not be ashamed, but doing what? Rightly divided. And unfortunately, we have not rightly divided.
That's right.
We have not rightly dissected the word of truth. We have read words and we have allowed those words to fit our circumstances rather than really dissect it and allow it to have true meaning for this thing that we call life. And so now we're in a place where we're raising the vibration, right? We're raising our energies and we're understanding that there's no space between you and me, that there's nothing but energy and we have and these energies that we put out we have to be knowledgeable of those kinds of things in order for us to really see ourselves at the next level, at the next realm, that if we're going to really move into the next dispensation of life, when we're no longer operating in the natural, but we're operating in the spiritual, then we have to be able to know the Word. We have to know the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So we got to know God. And if we know God, then we understand that we are all God, what? In expression. And we haven't been taught that because we've been beaten down and led to believe a whole lot about God that's just not true. And we've been led to believe, hey, don't you question God. Don't you question this. Don't you do that. Well, how you gonna know if you don't ask questions? How will you know? How will you know God if you don't know that we're all God in expression? How will you know God if you don't understand everything about God? Because math and science and astrology and everything else is about God. It's all relative. What does that mean? Everything is kin to each other. And we're all connected to who? To God. Who am I? What do I know? What do I desire? I got to be able to understand that in order to really truly walk in the kingdom. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions have to line up. And so I began talking to you about the root chakra, and then I went to the sacral chakra. I went to the solar plexus, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the heart. When we get to take me back to the root chakra for just a minute. I just want to talk to you about that because we're now in our Kundalini yoga sessions working to open up the chakra. See, you can't get the chakra opened up in church. I can't open you up in church, praise God, because it takes us through a whole lot of other things. But on Saturdays, we are meeting and we're dealing with the different chakras, and we're doing our meditation, and we're doing our yoga and our Kundalini yoga, and we're talking about the chakras and raising those vibrations because we have a lot of blockage. Sometimes we make bad decisions because our ability to operate with good instinct and security and being grounded and having survival instinct is off. That's why people make, I hate to say this, can I talk honest? Can we be clear with each other? That's why sometimes we make stupid decisions. You know what I'm saying? Anybody know what I mean by that? We just don't make rational decisions because our survival instinct is off, and we think that we're right, and it makes sense for us at the time. But because that chakra is so blocked up, we can't make good decisions, and we start making decisions on instinct that's not good for our long-term survival.
Right.
And so we make decisions for the moment, and we operate in the moment, and we operate out of emotion and rather than energy. We operate out of lack of thought rather than out of being led by the Holy Spirit and raising our vibrations. And so I talked about the root chakra and about being grounded. You have to be grounded because if your vertical relationship with God is off, you can be a good person, but that doesn't mean you're balanced. Now, I ain't gonna ask you to raise your hand, but how many people know that you're a good person, but your life seems to stay in the same rut? Yeah, you ain't gotta raise your hand. I want to try to tell you business, but if you want to raise your hand, that's good, because that's honesty. Honesty is good. I'm a good person, but my life just stays in the same rut. Somebody just tell me what you mean by that. Let me help you with that. Anybody? Anybody want to talk? I know I'm good, but my decision making is just a little off. And sometimes when I have the best intentions for life, but I wind up in the same rut. Like, you get paid, but you still broke. You know, because it's just decision making. You know, it's like, how many as soon as you get paid, we can't find you the whole weekend? Then by Tuesday, then by Monday before the next pay period, you broke. Y'all know what we do, especially black people. We love to go to Red Lobster. I know. We like, the first thing we like to do is go out to eat. We love to go out to eat and get an outfit. Tell the truth and shame the devil. We love to go out to eat and we love to get an outfit to go out to eat. And back in the day, I used to lay my clothes out for the club.
Come on, Bishop.
And if my shoes were a little off, I had to go buy some more. We ain't being honest. We ain't honest. And if we weren't doing that, we were doing something that just didn't quite line up quite right, you know. And so we find ourselves in this space, right? And we find ourselves in this place where we're a little off and we're trying to get centered and we don't quite know how to get centered. And we're thinking for the moment, and it's not that moment that's going to bless us and give us the security and identity and affirmation that we need for our lives, because we're not grounded like the tree. We're not grounded in the root chakra. Just close your eyes for a minute. Close your eyes for a minute. You have to think of yourself as rooted. You have to see yourself like a root of a tree that's big, that's planted in the ground, that's stern, so that when storms come, you don't just blow over and fall. But I'm so grounded in my not belief system, but my knowing system. I know who I am. I know what I desire. I know what I want God to do in my life. I know those things. I know who I am. I know what I desire. I know that I know God. I know that I know His Word. And I'm rooted in that. Then like David, I become like the tree that's planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in her season. I just want you to concentrate. Just begin to close your eyes. I know that gets hard. That gets hard. Close your eyes and just think of yourself as a strong tree that's planted. So I'm not going to be swayed by bills. I'm not going to be swayed by bad relationships. I'm not going to get caught up in things that I can't change. I'm not going to overwhelm myself with things that I cannot control. I understand God's will, His permissive and perfect will for my life and for the lives of those who are around me. And I've got to be firm. I got to be steadfast and unmovable and always abounding in the works of the Lord. For as much as I know my labor is not in vain in the Lord. A strong tree. I may bend, but I won't break. Okay. You get more if you come on Saturdays. That's just a little bit. Because you got to open that up. There's some blockers and things that happen in our lives that are so devastating that we don't open that root chakra up, and our lives have spun out of control. And we got to get back centered and we got to get back grounded. Anybody want to speak on that? Centered and grounded, because I believe this is designed to help somebody to build it right now. Okay. I went on to the sacral chakra. That's where your creativity and your flexibility and your pleasures and emotions lie. That's where your sensuality and sexuality and all of those things begin to develop. And you have to be able to be clear about that chakra in your life, your creative self. And when that's blocked, then you live a boring, dull life. You can't experience the greater things of life. You go to work, you come home. You may go out to eat, but you eat at the same old places. Now we got JJ's. We can't live without JJ's with extra seasons on. You know, it used to be lemon pepper wing. Then JJ's came on the scene and we lost our minds about JJ's. And it's different little things that get us off and we can't do without. And it puts us in a little place and a path where we can't go outside of our normal. When you can't go outside of your normal, you can't appreciate art and science, and you can't appreciate other things because your creative mind, your level of flexibility has been cut off. I don't want to do that. I don't eat that. You don't even know if you don't eat it because you never tried it. I don't go there. Somebody real grown told me one time they don't eat vegetables. What you mean you don't eat vegetables? So you mean to tell me you that clogged up? Because if you don't eat vegetables, your bowel is not moving the way it should. That means your skin is not doing what it, can we talk real? What we doing wrong talking about we don't eat vegetables? What you mean by that? I don't like this. How do you know? I can't eat without a pound of salt. But we're killing ourselves. I gotta have hot sauce on everything. I know y'all don't want to talk about that. Yeah, we don't have no. Because we've allowed ourselves to get stuck in a certain trajectory that we can't move ourselves out of. And so we can't live life to the full because now we got high blood pressure, we're at stroke level. We're not going to the doctor the way we should because we're not flexible enough. I heard this guy tell me at work, no, I ain't doing that prostate thing because you know that. What do you mean? Because if you're secure about your manhood, you're going to go get your prostate checked. Regardless of what you got to do in order to find out whether the prostate is healthy, that's what you're going to do because you got good sense. Are y'all talking to me?
Yeah.
So we can't sound ignorant like that. You know, God has to take us to another level. I know this ain't that churchy. We're going to sing something and get you churchy in a minute, okay? But I got to give you this because if I don't give you this, I haven't really done my assignment. And I got to raise your consciousness. I got to raise your vibration. I got to get you to the next place. We cannot continue, particularly in the African American community. We're dying faster than other communities because we don't take care of ourselves. We still think we gotta cook with hog maws and grease and fat back. And somebody tells you that olive oil will do the same thing, you frown up about it. If somebody tries to talk to you about black seed oil, you're like, what's that? I ain't doing that. Ugh. And we're not raising ourselves to the next level. We got to be wise. Well, so-and-so ate it, they didn't die. Yeah, but you about dead. It didn't work the same way for you. And so we have to raise our vibrations. We have to raise our consciousness. We have to raise our level of thinking. And we can't think on bad emotion. And that's where your emotions develop. Everybody has emotions. The question is, are your emotions balanced, or are you out of control? Are you stalking somebody because they broke up with you? You out of control. I know y'all tickle, but I'm so serious. Because that means that your chakra, your sacral chakra is out of line. Are you calling somebody, you keep calling because they won't answer the phone, and then you start going off on text and Facebook? Something's wrong with you. That means that something has happened that you need to open yourself up. Raise your hand if you're crazy like that. Yeah. Yeah. You got to pull that together. You have to pull that together. If you think that somebody's always after you, somebody's always, you're mad about something all the time. Your emotions are just out of control. You always got a funk on you. You always got a stank on you. Something's not quite right. You got to open up that chakra. You know what I'm saying? The least little thing will throw you off. And then your emotions start going haywire. You start getting people told and rolling your eyes, and you don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I ain't fooling with you. That's crazy if you can't. Your mind won't allow you to get centered. Your emotions will not allow you to be in alignment with God, in alignment with the universe, in alignment with the things that are going on around you. That means you're putting off bad energy because you're probably receiving some bad energy. That's why it's so important to get yourself clear and then begin to protect the vibrations that are all around you. I moved from the sacral chakra to the solar plexus. Now, I'm just giving you introductory stuff. You got to come on Saturdays to get the deep stuff. All right? I'm giving you the introductory things, but we're actually working on these chakras because it's not enough to know about them. They have to be healed. Okay? In order for us to become whole, we got to heal these areas, okay? Your sacral chakra is right here just above the navel, yellow in color. And that's where your personal power, your vitality, your desire and self-esteem are developed and vibrate. And when you don't feel like you have self-worth, you don't understand that greater is he who is in you than he that is in the world. See, the Bible speaks of chakras, and I'm going to blow your mind too, because something came to me on the way to church today. I don't even want to tell you, I'll tell you next week. But your personal power, your vitality, and desire. Your desire for greater things. I don't know about you, but I don't want God to just give me enough to pay my bills. I want to be in abundance. I know that I'm Abraham's seed. I know that I deserve more. I know that I deserve to live in abundance. I'm supposed. He anoints my head so that my cup does what? Runs over. If you want to pull them out to be broke the rest of your life, that's you. But I ain't trying to be broke. Not another day of my life. And you don't need to be broke another day in your life. I'm not trying to tell you that I want to be something that I don't desire for you. I want you to live in abundance. I want you to have more. I want you to do more. I want you to seek first kingdom things. And that's how things are added up to you. Somebody asked me the other day, how is it that you always have these situations, but you still remain on top? I said, no. It's not that I'm on top. It's just that I seek first the kingdom. And when you seek first kingdom things, God just adds unto your life.
That's right.
He just blesses. He said, try me and see herewith if I will not open you the what? Windows of heaven. And then do what? Pour out blessing. That's why I'm blessed. That's why you're blessed. Because you're seeking first kingdom things. How many of y'all came to church hungry this morning for word? You came hungry for life. Now, how many came just because it was Sunday? That's okay too. Because you remember the Sabbath day and you keeping it holy. But it's more to Sunday than just remembering the Sabbath and keeping it holy. I got to give you some greens to go with dessert. You know, I can't just give you your dessert. I can come in here and we can just sing a bunch of songs that y'all like. And I can give you a familiar scripture and tell you a Bible story. And then start making some words rhyme. And then start sounding like I'm having an asthma attack. But have you left empowered with something that's going to help you live from day to day? The heart chakra. It's just an introduction. I want to talk about mother's heart today. And it's amazing you got on green because that's the color of the heart chakra. We didn't even plan that. But the heart chakra is where love, affection, compassion are located, are housed. Your love vibration, which is different from emotion. Okay, and self-esteem. Because some people have low self-esteem because they don't know how to love themselves. But this is a different chakra here. This is the heart chakra. What you need to know is that the heart chakra is located between your lower chakras and your upper chakras. Okay, so it's the center. It's the center of everything. Your heart chakra, from the heart chakra, everything else is built upon. That's where love, affection, and compassion come from. It's in the center of the chest. And then you move to the throat, the third eye, and the crown. You have 7 chakras. Remember that. You got your root chakra, down in your pelvic area. Then you have your sacral, which is right there at the navel. Then you have your sacral that's 3 inches below the navel. Then you have the navel, which is also the solar plexus. And then you have the heart, which is in the middle of the body. Okay? And again, I want to invite you on Saturday mornings to really know more about the Kundalini and helping to open up those chakras. But when our heart is healthy and we realize our true identity in Christ, we have a peace that passeth all understanding and a joy that the world can never ever take away. You hear what I said? When our heart is healthy, that's why David said, "Create in me a clean heart, O Lord." That's why David said he understood something about the heart. Excuse me, get a bad saying. Somebody's cell phone is going off. That's why you have to put your cell phones on. Check, yeah. And when y'all Facebook in church, that throws my mic off. Yeah, zone frequency, we'll get to that in another session. Why you should just have enough respect for the Lord and for what the Lord has given me to stay off your phone. Every time a message comes through, it's too much pinging going on. It throws my mic off. Praise the Lord. When our heart is healthy and we start to understand our true identity in God, the heart is healthy. We understand true identity in God. When Christ, we have a peace. That's why Jesus tells us to be of good cheer. I think where I was taking y'all was to David. Is that where I was? Yes. Before somebody's cell phone started giving out messages. All right. David said, "Create in me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew within me a right standing spirit with you. David was on to something. Because he further said, Lord, and purge me with hyssop. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity. Because if the heart is not pure, he that hath clean hands and a pure what? Heart shall see God. And so we have to begin to understand that. And then David said this. He said, create in me a clean heart, renew a right spirit in me. Then he said, restore unto me the joy of my salvation. See, a lot of times we're experiencing happiness and not joy because our hearts are clogged up. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on in our hearts that's blocking everything else that's going on in our bodies. Because some people are rotten to the core. Just because they come to church, I mean they saved. You know? It's some rotten people. And sometimes the most rotten people at church. In order to try to camouflage the nastiness that rests in them all week. That's why we walk around heavy a lot. Because we're walking around in judgment, we're walking around in fear, we're walking around in disbelief, we're walking around negative, and our thoughts and our emotions and our actions are all powered by love. Did y'all hear what I just said? Our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions are all powered by love. So we want to continually check in with ourselves. We got to continually check in with our hearts. And take down the walls of that have been built up of bitterness and offense and any unforgiveness. And we got to live daily to renew ourselves and cleanse ourselves from all of these negative things. Somebody said, I'm going again. We have to cleanse ourselves of all of those things. Because if we don't cleanse ourselves, listen, bad relationships. Some of y'all still mad at somebody from 1979. You gotta let that go. Somebody's still not in a relationship because somebody did them wrong in 1983. So you don't want nobody never again. Somebody hurt your feelings, and so you gotta heal from that. You gotta move on. Come on, Bishop. Move on from pain of your past and move on from guilt of your past. Whatever you've done, God says, I have placed it in the sea of forgetfulness, never to remember it again. And so if God has forgotten about it, why are you still holding on to it? God wants to forgive you of stuff. He doesn't want you holding on to craziness and foolishness and running around not talking to people and mad and just got all this stuff on you. You can't love can't flow freely in you. And you have to work on that daily. Your heart chakra is an integrating and unifying chakra. That means that when it's integrating and unifying, you got to bring it brings your life to wholeness. Because your heart is your healing center. You know what I said? That's why it's in the middle. It's the healing center. It determines how the rest of your chakras, the rest of your alignment with God is, how healthy it becomes. The things that cause you to thrive in the other areas of your life will determine what your heart looks like. That's why Jesus told his disciples, he said, let not your heart be troubled.
All right.
Because he understood that with a troubled heart, they couldn't understand other things. Now, Jesus was ultimately trying to prepare them for his death, because death throws us all the way off. Y'all know that death will throw you all the way off, especially if you're not rooted and grounded in the word and you don't understand that death really is elevation.
Yeah.
That when people elevate, they're doing better than we're doing. And so we don't understand that. That's why the word says that we mourn when a child is born and we rejoice when someone dies, because what death is really an elevation to the next realm of being with God. Or being in the next dispensation where we're not in this physical body. If this earthly tabernacle is dissolved, there's a building not made with hands in the eternal. What is that? There's this place that we live in the spirit world. And if we can begin to wrap our minds around that, then we can handle things differently. One of the things that made my soul glad was when I continued to hear angels say, I'm at peace. When Anthony passed, the first thing she said to me is, but you know what, Bishop? I'm at peace. Well, at peace with what? At peace in knowing several things. I'm at peace knowing that God is in ultimate control. I'm at peace in knowing that there's no more sickness and pain. I'm at peace in knowing that I've done everything that I can do on this side. So she's not carrying guilt from walking away. It was for better or for worse, sickness and health, forsaking all others. You can be at peace. You can be at peace with that. Now, if you ain't no good, and you didn't do nothing but cause pain and travail in people's lives, you're going to continue to wallow around in that level of guilt. It will eat you alive. That's why you can't leave life unforgiving. You got to forgive people that you might be forgiven. You got to forgive them of their sin as you have been forgiven of your sin. Yeah. Make sense? Yeah. We got a little quiet. Okay. That heart, your heart has to be pure. It has to be clean. All right. Also, this chakra, your heart chakra, is associated with the element of air, our compassion and love, and it's driven by the principles of transformation and integration. Transformation means that we no longer have to live life in this matrix that we're in, but we have to integrate everything in our experience so that we can live in the divine matrix. See, so we so caught up in the matrix that we live in now that we cannot bridge the physical with the spiritual. And when you can't bridge the physical with the spiritual and move yourself to heighten your energy vibration and your spiritual vibration, you're always going to be stuck trying to pay bills. Trying to make ends meet. Trying to love somebody that doesn't love you. Or trying to love two, and that ain't easy to do. I ain't even gonna get into all the rest of it because I'm trying to stay churchy. But you understand why that chakra has to. Let me just stop, because there may be some questions. Let me just stop. Let me stop. Any questions right there? I want you to feel free if you have questions. Now, make sure they make sense, because I will cut you off if you start sounding crazy.
That's right.
And everything don't need to be discussed in church. Praise the Lord. Yes. What's your hand? No, my hand. Yes.
In essence, what you're saying is the heart chakra is your foundation, and everything else is built around it.
Well, your root chakra is your foundation, but your heart chakra is your center. And so in your center, really, is the heart chakra that that pulsates only outward. Everything else is going clockwise and counterclockwise, but the heart chakra pulsates. And that's because it becomes the center. It feeds the rest of the chakras. So it even the best tree that's rooted well still needs fertilizer. Okay? So the heart chakra it feeds the others. It's the central control, if you will. Because that's where the heart as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Okay? Does that make sense? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the heart becomes the center. Anybody else? So everybody got it? Or you just don't want to ask no questions right now? That's okay. Loosen up, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in deep through your nose. Some people just still staring. You got to do it in order to get yourself, raise your vibration. I'm going to breathe in real deep. Fill yourself up with goodness. Breathe out. Yeah. So we're going to show Mother some love today. Show her how much we love her today. And the choir has a selection, and we're going to look at a nice montage. I want you to relax, get where you can see. We're excited about it. Come on, let's move quickly. We're doing Take Me Back, Dear Lord, to the place where I first received you. Take me back. Take me back, dear Lord, where I did what? I first believed. So we have a little something special prepared for you, Mom. All right? I want some eye steals for this, too. Come on, come on. Come on. Stand and bless the Lord for her. Stand and bless the Lord for her. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Listen, Mother Coleman is an amazing part of this ministry. She has been steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. There is none a more faithful member. I don't know anybody more faithful. I know some people equally as faithful, but not more. Faithful in her service, faithful in her giving, faithful in her love and support to this ministry, and her love and support for me. I praise God for you. Yes. And God, and not only at how old are you, Mother? How old are you? Yeah. You ain't gonna tell us now. You told us last year. 93. Stop. Still coming to Sunday school. Shame on y'all. At Sunday school, at least, if it's 52 Sundays in a year, she at Sunday school at least 45 of them. Shame on you. Talking about you can't get up. Shame on you at 93. Still coming to Sunday school. And church. And ain't times yet. Praise the Lord. God is good. He has so preserved you. You look amazing. You look amazing. God has so blessed you. I've been to your birthday parties and have had a ball at the parties and all of that. You had an amazing life, and we love you. I thank God for your family. Your family's here, and they're going to take pictures and do all of that. We're going to do that at the end of the service. But we so bless God for you and what you mean to this ministry. Mom, did you want to say something about Mother?
You know, Mother Coleman has been a part of this church more than 50 years. And she was, I remember her being on the Nurses Guild. They lived right up the streets here, and she walked down that hill every Sunday coming to church, every Sunday coming to church. And she told me one day, she said, you know, when I wear this uniform, my nurse's uniform, somebody thought I was a real nurse. And they were asking me for some help. And I did the best I could because they thought I was a real nurse. But you know what?
She is.
She is a nurse.
Yes. Nursing in kingdom.
She has nurtured her family so very well over the years. Now, this is something funny that she told me that happens. Now, her favorite, one of her favorite scriptures is, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers." There was a lady at the center where she goes. And this lady irritated her to no ends. And she said, I have to always pull out that scripture, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers." Now I never didn't know the lady's name. I sure hope ain't nobody here that goes to the center, because that woman gave her, she said, some days I just want to take my stick and knock her with it. But then I remembered my scripture, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers." And we would laugh about it because it was so funny when she was telling us all about these things. But Mother Coleman has been a stalwart member of this church for all these years, and then she brought all of her family in.
Yes.
My husband would comment to her all the time what a marvelous job she had in taking care of her grandchildren,
Yes.
her children and her grandchildren, and she did that religiously, sometimes all by herself. And she has been just a wonderful, wonderful member. And you know, God has blessed her because she's obedient.
Oh, yeah.
She's obedient to the word. I don't know if she wants folk to know this or not, but Mother Coleman tithed every month. And the reason I know is because I'm on the finance committee. That's why God has blessed her so. God has blessed her so because of her obedience to God and to the church. And you know what? She didn't make just oxtails for Bishop. She made this bean salad.
Yes.
That you have to marinate it overnight. And every time we have an eating, she'd bring me a little bowl full. It was so good. She knows that's what I like. And you know what? I believe she loves me.
Yes, she does.
And I love her. She loves Emmanuel. She loves the bishop. And she loves everybody in her heart. And we just can't tell you enough how much we are so pleased that you are a part of our family. And we thank you for your dedication, your love, and your commitment, not just to God first, and to your church. Thank you so very much.
Yeah. So with that, the Emmanuel Baptist Church and Family Worship Center Seniors Ministry honors Mother Willie Clyde Coleman, member for more than 50 years, on January 2020. Amen. Y'all like that? We're gonna give this to you. Well, no, I'll go to her. We're gonna get pictures after church. We're gonna get pictures anyway. And we're gonna give her. Yes, praise God. Let's give God praise. Would y'all praise the Lord for her? Isn't God good? Praise the Lord. We're going to get some pictures with the family. We're going to get pictures with the seniors ministry. They look good over there. They red and black. Praise God. Amen. So, have y'all enjoyed our service today? Yeah. You enjoyed our service today? Listen, if we've said something that has blessed you, we hope that you'll come back and share with us again here at Emmanuel, where we are small enough to know you, we're big enough to grow you, and we care enough to show you. Now, until we see y'all again, we want the Lord God to do what? Bless you real, real good. Now, we're going to, you want to say something, Mother? All right, go ahead.